he got a little sarcastic. He didn't think we were on the level until 3 questions later. And then he was like, you could see it dawning on him that, you know what? I could be wrong.
Hey, is there a better tool that empowers a woman to defend against an attacker that's bigger, stronger? Well, that's why it's so important for women to learn how to defend themselves with the most effective self-defense tool ever invented. And you're pretty slow, Alicia.
He didn't do the proper pause.
Well, I was trying to get past
She has a point.
Arnold over there. For women led by women, the Not Me program is designed to help with training, purchasing a gun, and getting a concealed carry permit. Guess what?
What?
It's free.
Yes.
Sign up. Go to notmesd.org. And by the way, I'm out of cards.
Not Me. We started Not Me California, which is 501c3, which means that your donations are tax deductible. And right around this time of year, folks are looking for something tax deductible to give to. Go to notmeca.org, and you can donate there.
You need to put that on her new business cards, or put on a business card, just so people have got it.
So there's the program, Not Me SD, which is that's what the actual activities. But then we set up this 501c3,
okay. So I got you.
Which is you're right, you're totally right. But because the org didn't exist when we made her business cards.
Excuse me, let me write that down.
Notmeca.org.
Mike says
that Dave was right. Time and date.
You need witnesses.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get it notarized.
Unbelievable. This is what I got to put up with every week, Kimberly.
I know.
That's why I'm glad you're here.
Oh, thank goodness.
Kimberly Southwell. Now, where are you from?
Where am I from?
What's your organization?
Oh, my goodness. Our organization, we've had a name change.
I didn't know that.
I was so excited. We were originally the DC Project, and we are now Women for Gun Rights.
I didn't know that. Well, now, how come the change?
A lot. There were
people
a number
think
of
it
things.
was like a comic book related.
Well, they weren't sure.
DC Project.
And if people, your name, your handle, you have to kind of get out there, and when you have to explain what DC Project is.
And do you really want to be related to DC?
Not necessarily.
I like this way better.
Exactly, and this is nationwide. Yeah. So it's a nationwide organization.
I think that's excellent.
And I think it's great. So the powers that be changed the name.
It is. Well, I got to tell you, it's enormously. When I was picking San Diego County gun owners, I had a lot of people suggesting, well, you should call it the Liberty People Rights blah blah coalition association No, San Diego County gun owners. There's no ambiguity. There's no ambiguity. So I like this. I like the change. Women for gun rights.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Are you local?
I am local. I'm the state director, California state director.
Mike, don't you think Tommy would jump all over this?
Absolutely.
KUSI?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Come in and do a little segment and let people know?
I'd love it.
I think so.
I would love it.
Did the mission change?
No, actually, the mission has not changed. We are still nationwide. It's women committed basically to safeguarding the Second Amendment. We're nonpartisan. We're daughters and mothers and sisters. And then we believe that education really is more important than any legislation that we have on the books. Yeah. And we just recently went to D.C. We do that every year. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I am now. Yeah, they let us in. Yes.
Wow.
We literally had a lot of people there. 130 meetings that we made in two days.
Wow.
There were 65 women, 45 different states.
Wow.
And we had 12 teams, and we had 130 offices. So I can tell you without a doubt, education is what we need.
And they opened the doors.
I know, and they let us back. I know.
What was the most surprising office you guys? What's the most surprising one that you
got into,
heard about, where you're like, oh my gosh?
Surprising? Well, I'll go best and worst. How about that?
Yeah.
So the most fun so my group, we had Nevada, Colorado, and California. Mm-hmm. And the most fun we had was in Darrell Ice's office. And the gentleman now keep in mind, at this point, this is October 18, they didn't have a Speaker of the House at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of things going on. So we saw Congressman Issa as when he came into his office after the first vote for Jim Jordan. And then he was whipping votes that week. So we got to speak to his number one. And so we were sitting in the office, and Chris was a retired Navy SEAL. Mm-hmm. by far the most educated, by far the most fun. We were comparing notes on who liked what, where, why. Yeah. So it was he was incredibly intelligent about not only 2A but what was going on in DC. We had a number of basically bills that we wanted pushed. He automatically said, "Hey, no problem. I'm going to write up a proposal for the 3 that you really want pushed." He didn't guarantee anything, but he was no nonsense, upbeat, very knowledgeable. So that was by far our most fun.
Good.
So the worst one, well, when you got those, and I'm going to discount the ones that they were very polite.
That turned you down, didn't even want to talk to you?
They were like, "Thank you for coming.
I hope you enjoyed your trip.
Thank you so much for being here."
Like, thank you, but no, like we don't even want to talk to you.
Well, no, they all talked. They were all professional and polite that way, but there was no interaction. It was, here's what we're here for. And the reason why it's so important for women is, we have 8.4 million voters in your districts throughout the United States. Just became, there's more gun owners here, and 40% of those are women. You might want to, this is our face. We are real. We want our own gun rights. There's a reason to listen to us. So we gave them that. We left documentation for them. There was policies and things that we were subscribing to. The programs that we support are all safety oriented. So if we stayed with the safety part of it, most of the guys were good, and they at least showed a little bit of interest and then said, "Thank you very much." We're talking 15 minutes max.
I was just going to say, how much time would they give you?
Very short periods of time. The surprising one, and it was negative, it was from the anti-side. We knew that going in. Right? And we saw both on purpose.
And you have to talk to him.
Of course.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Exactly.
Yeah, she should be a movie.
Yeah. You would think, right? These guys actually, I got to ask a question, and the question was, what did this person know about an AR? That was the legit question. And of course, anything that you've heard our current residents spout, it's like a script.
Right.
A bad script, but it's still a script. It can fire so many bullets within a second. It's a weapon of war. No one needs a a weapon of destruction like that. Blah 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 blah. And then we asked a couple of different questions. Well, what about it? Did they actually know? They've never seen it. No, they've never been involved. They don't even have a handgun. They don't even like it. So we understood exactly where they were at. But we asked him if he would be surprised if they would know that if you pulled the trigger once, only one bullet came out. It's just like any other rifle. The light bulb kind of went on, and they're like, "No." I don't know, really, truly, this is really how it works. Yeah. It's what you might be describing as something that's automatic versus a semi-auto. And we can help you with any of that information. He got a little sarcastic. He didn't think we were on the level until 3 questions later. And then he was like, you could see it dawning on him that, you know what? I could be wrong. Anything I know might be wrong. Just this glimmer.
Yeah.
So it was the worst part of denial, but yet we still left information, and we got maybe a hint that you need to do a little bit more homework.
Planted a seed.
Who is this?
Maybe.
Who is this person?
This was, I think it was a representative from Colorado.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Colorado used to be, I'm leaving California and going to Colorado where they respect gun rights. Not anymore, man. Colorado is half 2A and half not 2A.
Yeah, and I
think it was Magpul left Colorado?
Yes, they all did.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, it kind of...
It was hard.
Everybody who left California and laughed in my face on the way out, told you so, cowards. So I don't feel bad at all. I'm glad that they have to fight rather than flee. I don't know where, if they're going to flee Colorado, I don't know where they're going to next.
So who was another outstanding person?
AOC?
Negative or positive? I don't care.
So keep in mind, we had 2 opposite ends of the spectrum in that we had a rally in front of the Supreme Court building.
I think spectrum's the right word, by the way.
Spectrum's a good word, right?
Yeah.
We had 100 of us in attendance, and we had a whole day training on Monday. On Wednesday, we had a press conference. So I think we had, who do we have at the press conference? We had the National Representative Congressional Committee Chairman. This is Representative Richard Hudson. He's from North Carolina. Eric Bullerson from Missouri. Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, and Kat Comack from Florida. They were all at our press conference.
So they actually came.
They actually came. They spoke. They're ready
they
to go.
spoke too.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody try to go talk to AOC?
Keep in mind that everybody was pretty busy.
She was bartending.
She was. No, she could have been. She could have been.
She's got to make some kind of money, pay for her Tesla.
I thought that's what we did.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's right. It is our money.
Exactly. It's our money. They forget all these things.
So no one threw you out.
No one threw us out of, again, with all the 130 offices that we went in. And we were in and out of both the Senate side and the House side. It took us a couple of days to do that.
So when are you going back?
Next year for sure. But in the meantime, now I get to wrap my arms around what we need to do here in the state of California.
Right.
That's my job.
So you haven't been to Sacramento yet?
Not yet. But I'm starting here in Mike Levine's office, and we have
Mike Levine.
There we
Good
have,
luck with that.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about taking him to the range and say, we'd like to invite you to the range?
His
Or do you
office,
trust yourself?
Of course I do. His office is within 5 minutes of my home and within 10 minutes of Ironside there in Oceanside. So I will absolutely meet him anytime
no, I'm
his
talking
little heart
about in
desires.
D.C.
Oh, to range? No, I'm going to meet him on my home turf right here in Oceanside.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when you go back, every time you talk to these people, say, I have a personal invitation to take you to the range.
Absolutely. Those guys, there were a number of people that, and keep in mind that when we're in D.C., we talk federally only because that's really what we're there to do it.
Right.
And so when we're back at the States, we do. There was a lot of interaction from girls that had been in the D.C. project, now Women for Gun Rights, for many years. So they knew these guys. They were on a first-name basis at home as well as D.C. So there are those things on the table at any time.
Yeah, because, you always think about, do you like Brussels sprouts? Oh, I hate Brussels sprouts. Have you ever ate a Brussels sprout? No.
Exactly.
And I think that's with the AR question. Say, why don't you just come to the range with us?
Come on.
Bring your security, in case you don't trust me, and let me show you what this weapon is all about.
It's right.
Because you might turn on another light.
We might. One of the bigger things were like about a stock. The bump stock came up, of course.
Of course.
Well, when you explain that, a 6 foot size guy can shoot the same gun as a 5 foot woman.
Yeah.
When you can adjust the stock, and that's
stock.
really all it does.
That's all it does. Yeah, but they don't understand it.
Not a bump stock. You're talking about telescoping.
Telescoping.
Hey, a lot of companies waste an enormous amount of money on marketing. The design is excellent, the photos are beautiful, and your website looks great. But you know what? It's just not getting customers. Why? Because you don't have the words that make people buy. But now you can fix that with Sage Tree. Sage Tree can help you find the words that make it easy for your customer to understand and what to do and how to buy from you. Stop wasting money today and schedule a call. Getting started is real easy. Visit sagetree.com. Click on the Schedule an Appointment button. That's all it takes. That's sagetree.com and click on the Schedule a Call button now.
Dude, these glasses are awesome.
I know they look better on top of your head.
They look better on top of my head. There we go.
All purpose.
I just took them
Hold
off.
back your hair.
I just took them off during the commercial, and it
About passed out.
Yeah, well, they're crystal clear, but they're nice and dark. The amber ones are cool. They came with 3 different frames. They came with a little carry case, which is adorable.
See, and it's got
adorable.
It's got Velcro, so you can put it on your belt.
Yep, it's kind of like it's almost. I guess you could fit this on like a Molly rig.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly.
But it's Velcro.
That could be your baby purse.
And you have three
lenses in there.
3 lenses.
And instructions.
I'm not. Yeah.
Throw those.
He's a man. He's
throw
throwing them
those
away.
Yeah, we don't need that stinking instructions.
So
forbid.
I got to tell you, it's pretty cool. And they got a sticker. I don't need a sticker.
Yeah, you put that on the dash of your Jeep.
I'm not putting this on the dash of my Jeep. Come on, Dave.
It's a Jeep.
Yeah, it's for rubber duckies only.
Rubber duckies only.
You got to be a Jeep guy to understand that.
I'm a sticker guy.
That joke. So in all seriousness, okay. So who else? It's not DC Project anymore. It's Women for Gun Rights.
Women for Gun Rights.
And what else was surprising to you about, or has been surprising to you about your trips to DC? Does anything jump out? Do you have any interesting conversations or?
Oh my gosh. we had a room full, about 100 people, in for our basic training, and it was amazing because you think we're a lot of people that were there that had never been there before. So we were learning about basic civics, how you engage someone politically, social media in 2A, what to do, not what not to do, what they wanted, hostile communications. I mean, we were speaking about all of that. Diana Mueller, of course, who our founder.
Right.
Love Diana.
Multiple-time national 3-gun winner.
She's a rock star.
Total rock star.
Love her.
Robin Sandoval, executive director.
Another rock star.
AGAG. Chris Cox. Do y'all know who Chris Cox is?
Yeah, former ILA.
That's the
NRA,
guy.
ILA.
Current president, Capital 6 Advisors. He was there talking to us. Dick Heller.
Heard of him?
So
Slightly important lawsuit he filed.
Exactly. He was a special DC officer.
Yeah.
And he filed for
Carry permit.
and was denied.
Yep. 2008, Heller versus DC.
And won.
Yep.
Very cool.
You got to meet that dude?
I did. I got to take pictures and everything with him.
He's a hoot.
He is a hoot. Absolute hoot. Antonia Okafor,
Oh, she's wonderful.
founder of Empowered 2A.
Yeah, I think she does some work for GOA, Gun Owners of America now.
She
right?
does.
Yeah.
Absolutely does. Awesome people. I can't tell. I mean, there was so much information that came out and what, whys, and wheres. They were incredible, incredible people.
You know what's amazing to me is they really are incredible people. So everybody I know in the 2A world, particularly people that end up in a like an action position or a leadership position, like yourself, are absolutely wonderful, well-informed people who have no problem saying, yeah, let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's talk about this. You know, you want to debate, you want to lecture, you want whatever. You just want a conversation. Let's do it. The other side, not as confident.
That was the confirmation when we were going in and out of these offices. Now, keep in mind, they were both pro and against. Right. The conversation that we had with them is, number one, we left 3 pieces of paper for their purposes.
Right.
Things that meant something to them that they could pull from and use.
Right.
Then they said that our entire group was so polite and professional.
Yeah.
Unlike other groups.
The lunatics on the other side.
And that was something that even though we disagreed, we agreed to disagree, but we found the middle. And that's safety. Everybody wants safety.
Yeah.
And that's literally where, if we stayed to that safety part in an anti-office, they learned something. I mean, we have like 5, 6 programs that we support on a nationwide basis. That's empowered. You can go out and take care of any of these kids.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to save.
Well, there's a lot of
They can get behind that.
There's like a bunch of old sayings, like if you have the facts, pound on the facts. If you don't have the facts, pound on the desk. You know, and the facts are on our side, so we're just like, hey, here's how it is.
So out of the playbook of the other side,
they
were told, don't even worry about the facts. They will never win against us on the facts. Play on the emotion.
Well, okay, so
that's what they did.
I agree. Well, and I think we should do a better job of pulling heartstrings. I don't think that's a bad thing. But
that's all they had.
But that's all they had, and they just and when they just their whole tactic is to just say it really loud. Whereas I think we can
beat you over the head with it. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that an example of how we could do things better is give a statistic. 1 million to 3 million times per year people use a firearm to stop or prevent a violent crime. That's a statistic, and then follow up and say, I care about single moms, I care about women, I care about the LGBT community, and I want them to have the opportunity to be able to be one of the 1 million to 3 million who defend themselves, rather than the X million who become victims. And
we don't need any more victims.
We certainly don't. But I think that's a good idea.
I agree.
Whereas the other side, they use emotion, and then they in like an accusatory manner.
Very much so.
And
they really don't have much to back that up.
No, they don't.
Just another emotional plug.
Because it's all on our side, really. I mean, I think that there's a lot of room for improvement across the board, and all of us. Not just I'm not talking about any group. I think that we all could do a better job of explaining why we care about people, because that's really what that's really what it's about. I mean,
but it's really scary when you have to get up in front or you have to
Sure.
speak your mind and you're pro, and what people do with that information these days is very scary.
Yeah. Oh, believe me.
So I
you should see my inbox.
I bet. So if they don't like something that you said, and heaven forbid you're pro 2A, it's become a dirty word.
Yeah.
And it went, and people go on an attack.
Yeah. But
so people don't want to speak up.
I will say this. I say that kind of half in jest but half telling the truth. Look, you should see my inbox. Most of my inbox, is most of my inbox is junk mail. But you get past that, when people do comment on like an appearance or a statement or something like that, 90% are like, "Hey, thank you." That's exactly how I feel. Thank goodness that somebody's on, 6 o'clock news saying that. And then it's just the occasional like, you're a jerk. And it's not even like, hey, you know what, you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong. It's just they don't like, you're just a jerk. I'm not attractive enough for them. There's a lot of people on the other side that don't find me very attractive, Kimberly, and they remind me of that.
That's just not true.
I know, and I'm like,
it's not true.
I'm like, San Diego County Gun Owner. It's not a dating app,
Not that I knew, anyway.
It's not.
Did I miss that?
I'm out.
If it is, it ain't working.
It's not working.
I think that what you guys are doing is amazing and good, and I think that you guys have it's all the right people doing it too.
We have an incredible powerhouse team. We really, really do.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. How long were you in D.C. for?
I went in on the 14th of October and came home on the 18th.
That's
so
awesome.
Short trip.
Yeah. Well, still, how cool is that?
It was incredibly cool.
What's 2024 look like for you guys?
2024, I have been invited to go to the Ambassador Academy.
Oh.
And that would be held in the WAFT Orlando facility. So that'll be
means.
That's where our family trains. There's a big facility.
WAFT?
WAFT.
Does that stand for something?
Where our family trains.
Oh, okay.
Orlando, Florida.
Gotcha.
And I'll be there for 5 days.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of training and how to talk and how to deal with all of the adversary of the things you get when you're doing advocacy.
Right.
So that will be that.
Maybe you guys can. Did you go to the gun show that we had here? It was a little far. I know you're up more in North County. Did you hit the gun show? Well,
I did not. Several of our folks did.
Good.
There's a lot of people that went down. So
first weekend of March at the Legacy Center in Mission Valley, we're having the third gun show. We did a couple at this
Masonic
Lodge, which is great. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Masonic
Absolutely.
Lodge. You guys did a wonderful
Couldn't
job.
have done it without them.
But we're going to change venues. We think we've grown a little, and we need to go to a different venue. And
I'm so glad you guys have grown.
Yeah, well, the Legacy Center
gosh.
I think is going to be great. But maybe we could have you come talk during the symposium or something like that.
Be my pleasure.
Yeah,
Love to do
you've
it.
been to the Legacy Center, haven't you? In Mission Valley? No, you haven't been there.
I don't think so.
That new one on the south side of the 8.
Yeah.
Right across from Courtesy Chevrolet.
Republican Women's held a big event there.
It's a humongous building that you can't tell what it is.
That's probably
Yeah.
why I've never been to it.
Yeah.
Well, now there's a hotel there. It says Legacy Hotel.
Yep.
They have a hotel and a steakhouse, but they also have these big, huge. They have a big, huge, like 500-seat theater. I think it looks like we're going to have like some kind of Second Amendment movie night on Saturday night, which should be cool.
That would be cool.
Guess what I'm trying to get them to play?
Red Dawn.
That's right.
No, wait.
Well, we'll
the
see.
original one or the new one?
Everybody says that. There is no second
Yeah,
one.
no,
There
there's
is
the
Red
only-
Dawn.
Okay. I
The
just want to make sure.
1984
Okay,
documentary.
now we have a date to it.
And that's
All
it.
right.
There's no other.
That's Laura Ingram's favorite movie off Fox 5.
No, really?
She came right out and said it. She said, best movie ever made.
I got to
Ever
talk to her. We
made.
need to get her on the show.
I know. Get a hold of
You know
Red.
what? Seriously, if we end up showing it, we need to get her out there and
She would be all over it,
do
dude.
like an intro or something.
She'd be all over it.
That
Anyway,
would be so much fun.
Kimberly, well, you're coming. You're gonna
Absolutely, so
make
I'll be
it
there.
fun.
I will make it fun.
If I got to get you and John, I'm gonna drive to North County and get you and John
Put
in my
you in
Jeep.
his Jeep.
In the
And you
Jeep.
guys are
I'm
coming.
in.
Bring your rubber ducky.
Thank you so much
and rubber duck.
Hey,
for
bring your AAA card.
everything
sir.
that you guys do. Please thank all the wonderful ladies and everybody that helps support, because you guys are awesome.
Oh,
and
well,
he'll
thank
send,
you.
and you
Thank
should
thank
send
you.
this info to Tommy.
Yeah.
He's
And
on KUSI.
women, I was going to say womenforgunright.org.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.